Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of D&D Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for The Last of Us. This one's going to be doing our first Q&A video after the pilot episode of The Last of Us on HBO, and we're also going to be talking about the Walking Dead universe coming up in 2023, and does The Last of Us give the Walking Dead universe a run for its money this year? Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today, this one's going to be doing a review for The Last of Us, and in today's video we're going to be doing a Q&A video after the first episode, after the pilot episode. We of course did our review in the channel for the very first episode of The Last of Us, which apparently from what I've heard from a lot of you guys, most of you enjoyed. I did get to see a few comments of people that said that they didn't like it, but for the most part a lot of people really enjoyed The Last of Us pilot, as did I. I thought it was a fantastic start to The Last of Us series, and now we're going to go through some comments, we're going to go through some reactions from you guys, and kind of give our thoughts. So, absolutely fantastic start for The Last of Us. It was one of those shows that was cooked up for a while. It's also based off of a video game that, released like over 10 years ago now. So, it's been cooked up for a while. It's been something that I think we've all been waiting to see how it would be adapted to, live action. And I think they did a good job, at least to get started with the story. I think they did a very, very good job of introducing the characters. A lot of the casting, I would say, is very, very good. And I think the show so far is off to a good start. So, we're going to go into a few comments from you guys for today, but I want to kind of address this major one for the Walking Dead viewers on this channel, because a lot of people were saying this. So I figured instead of, using this for the Q&A, I think it'll be something that we address at the beginning of this video, which is The Last of Us and the premiering of this show, and it being a apocalyptic series, of course, therefore then stirs up the pot with the Walking Dead fans. And now I'm hearing a lot of people that are saying, well, the Walking Dead is definitely in trouble. It sounds like The Last of Us, a lot of people are saying that The Walking Dead is in trouble. The Last of Us is going to wipe The Walking Dead, just slate clean, and, Last of Us is going to destroy Walking Dead and what it's doing right now. So, what are my opinions on this? What do I kind of think about that? Well, I'll say right now, it's really hard to say that after just one episode, and that's kind of one thing that I've really noticed from a lot of people, is that a lot of people seem to be jumping the gun. They're like, oh my god, the pilot for The Last of Us was so good that The Walking Dead is just going to be a nothing, you know what I mean? Like, because they're both zombie apocalypse series, so of course they're going to be competing. Obviously, I've said this many, many times before, The Last of Us definitely has a bigger budget than The Walking Dead will ever have. That's just the way it works with the network that The Last of Us is on, with HBO versus AMC. That's just what you're going to get. But again, I've watched so many shows that are on AMC that I think are amazing and have not the greatest budget in the world. Breaking Bad doesn't have the most amazing budget in the world, and that show is one of the best things ever created. You know what I mean? So budget doesn't always mean everything, and that's one thing I want to kind of make sure I kind of specify, is that budget does not mean everything. You know what I mean? But I will say one thing, and it's definitely one thing that I am going to have to agree with The Last of Us fans on right now, is that where The Walking Dead currently stands right now in 2023, with the main show being over, with the main Walking Dead series being done, and the spin-offs being delayed, and Fear the Walking Dead taking the spotlight this year, and the Rick show being delayed, yeah, Last of Us is definitely more of a of a successful product right now, and I honestly, even as a diehard Walking Dead fan over here, I completely understand, and I'm for it, to be honest, because the Walking Dead universe, as much as I love it, and I will always follow the Walking Dead universe, The Last of Us right now, in comparison to what the Walking Dead is doing to us right now, with making Fear the Walking Dead the lead of 2023, and making the spinoffs delayed, and delaying the Rick spinoff until next year, I mean, yeah, The Last of Us definitely is offering a lot more of that, classic horror zombie content right now, and I, as a major Walking Dead fan, will admit that right now. You know what I mean? I'm not going to deny it. Do I think that, The Last of Us is going to smoke Walking Dead, the main show? No, I honestly don't. I think that The Walking Dead will probably always still remain my favorite show. But overall quality wise right now in the year of 2023 with Fear the Walking Dead and all the spin-off delays and what we just got a few nights ago, yeah, I'm absolutely going to acknowledge the fact that The Last of Us, I think, is giving Walking Dead a run for its money, at least in this year. Not overall, because we got to see like 10 seasons worth of content, you know what I mean? But at least as of this year in 2023 and all the pushbacks that Walking Dead is doing right now and what The Last of Us is bringing to the table, I think there's a fair argument there. I do. I do think there is a fair argument there. I don't think that it makes The Walking Dead any less good, you know what I mean? But it definitely shows you that The Last of Us and the way that they're portraying their story right now, Walking Dead does need to smarten the hell up a little bit. It does. And I'm going to say it. If they want their universe to succeed, they gotta friggin' step it up because honestly, The Last of Us is doing something very fantastic right now. They're adapting a phenomenal story, and The Walking Dead right now is trapped in Fear the Walking Dead and doing all these spin-offs, you know what I mean? Like, and delaying them on top of that. So, yeah, definitely something to be acknowledged for sure. I'm kind of curious to know where you guys stand on that. But, yeah, definitely a good thing to acknowledge for sure. And I've heard a lot of fans talk about it, so I figured I would kind of address it. But anyway, let's get into a few Q&A comments for today. First one comes from Luca, who says that the scene in the first episode of The Last of Us where you see the dog, of course, and, Sarah kind of goes over to the older people in their home. And when you see the blood on the floor, and, of course, you see them kind of chasing Sarah, is one of the most terrifying scenes they've ever seen in anything, and it was a very well done episode. And yes, I agree. That scene with Sarah was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, that little actress, man, I don't know how the hell they got someone so good, but that actress was really good. Like, really, really good. She led like half the episode, and she did a phenomenal job. And I agree. The blood on the floor and the horror vibes of that, I mean, that is something that I've never seen before in basically anything. I don't think I've seen a scene in a zombie, like, apocalyptic type series that was, like, that scary and also that unpredictable because I wasn't sure, when she walked into that house, I wasn't sure what the hell to expect, because, again, that was something that wasn't in the video game. That was something that they did for the TV show. And it was so terrifying the way they did it. It was absolutely amazing. And I hope to see more of that kind of stuff in The Last of Us because that was a very, very well done scene. It actually kind of got me, like, kind of made me jump out of my seat a little bit when I see her, like, kind of chasing after Sarah and then Joel has to, put her down and stuff. It was really, really good for sure. I really liked it. Next one comes from Mahmoud, who says that I really enjoyed this episode. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed the Outbreak stuff, especially kind of gave you vibes of Fear the Walking Dead in the early days, except a few more times stepped up with a better budget. Exactly. So obviously, like we discussed at the beginning of the video, The Last of Us, in terms of their budget, I mean, they can do anything. I mean, literally the shot in the truck is one of my favorites when you see Joel and Tommy and Sarah and they're driving through and the camera stays on one shot as you go street to street. Like, literally, there's no cuts, there's no nothing. They literally shut down street after street just to friggin' do that scene. I mean, that is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. And it's stuff like that that they used to do in Game of Thrones too, like a one shot, no cuts battle, And they did it with The Last of Us, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And it's kind of one of the things that I really, really like to see in entertainment is when there's no cuts, there's no cheap way out, there's no whatever. It's one shot the entire time, you know what I mean? And in terms of the Outbreak and the vibe of that throughout the episode, I mean, that was incredible, I've never seen a TV show do an Outbreak scene like that. It was terrifying. It was, emotional, especially with the death of, Sarah and stuff like that. And, might I just say, the way they did Sarah's death as well, too. I mean, that actress, I know I said it a few minutes ago, but that actress really killed it. She really did a good job. And same with Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal as Joel, I mean, if that is not what fits like a glove, I don't know what does. You know what I mean? Like, Pedro Pascal as Joel, that's literally him from the game. It's absolutely perfect. And his, emotional reaction and all that stuff when he's like, Tommy, help me, it was something else. It was absolutely incredible. And we'll do another from XD who says that, should I watch this series if I've never played the game? So I would actually argue that you could. You could absolutely play, or you could absolutely watch this if you have never played the game. And the reason why I could say this, and I could actually, say this for anybody that's watching this as well too, It's a series that is definitely, you can play the game to get extra knowledge for sure, like as did I obviously a few years ago. We reviewed it on the channel back in 2019, I think it was, and I loved it. I love The Last of Us. I think the game is fantastic, but you do not need to play it. I literally was showing a buddy of mine literally yesterday the episode for the very first time, and they had never seen it. You know what I mean? They'd never ever played the game, and they had no knowledge. And I'll tell you what, they watched it and they absolutely loved it. So to me, that's kind of evidence that you can just watch this as just, some zombie story and some apocalyptic story, and I think you would love it just as much. Yeah, obviously the people that have played the game, we have knowledge of what comes later, so we're kind of waiting for these like big moments to happen, like the death of Sarah, for example. But obviously, even with that knowledge, I feel like even to me, like as a game player, I still got choked up when Sarah died. You know what I mean? And especially for a TV exclusive viewer, not getting any knowledge of what's going on, I think yeah, the experience would be very, very good. And to be honest, I think it's going to be something that works very well. So yeah, I recommend, even if you've never played the video game, I would still recommend checking it out because I think it's definitely worth a watch. So anyway, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy this video, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos for The Last of Us. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos for The Last of Us. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.